Live streaming is on. Hey everyone, it's S. Ladybug. I'm going to speak up a little bit because I had to turn my fan on. It is so hot in California right now. But without further ado, I'm checking in because I am being super proficient with holding on to my own goal of coming live every Sunday, no matter what, to do these sip and stitches with you all. So I want to start by cheersing. Cheers to everyone. Nice and refreshing. I needed that. So this is S. Ladybug. You're checking in with Yarn Movement. This is a sip and stitch where we're coming together every Sunday to have discussions and talk about just this journey of being a creative entrepreneur and to talk about a fun fact, which is the nonprofit arm of Yarn Movement, which is known as Believe in What You Dream. Believe in What You Dream is a confirmed 501c3 where myself and other crocheters are traveling around the world right now and teaching girls how to crochet. Unfortunately, due to the just state of where we are in the world, we haven't been able to hop on a plane, but we get to do so virtually. Within those virtual meetups, we're just focusing on 3 pillars. The first one being dream catchers. Dream catchers are an appropriate way to visualize your dreams. And we start off just making dream catchers because it's an easy thing to do. Make a full circle, make a few tassels that hang, and boom, you can visualize this understanding that you have dreams, that you can take your thoughts and formulate it into something that becomes a tangible thing. You get to wake up and go to sleep to this symbol of understanding that, hey, I have a dream. And as long as I put my hands to action, that I can make my dreams reality. Secondarily, we do some journaling. Inside the journals, we just talk about journaling your journey. What did it take from you to get from a thought to an action? And what kind of steps led to whatever results those were? It's important that as creatives and just people in general, if we're going to be in a position where we hop into our own pilot seat, we understand what directions, what our flight map is going to look like, what it's going to look like when we run into turbulence, what it's going to look like when we need help, when we need to co-pilot with someone, what are we going to tell our flight attendants, who are going to be our customers, our audience, or therefore our passengers while we're driving or riding these planes. And third, you guessed it, crochet. We're doing basic lesson of crochet. For me, crocheting is my superpower. I've been able to take this understanding of yarn, just taking so much yarn around, yarn, a hook, and some scissors, and really formulate it into something that's been really, really great, and has really just taken me places. And we get to spend the time to understand what those places are, and hence the understanding of Yarn Movement, which is a global fashion and lifestyle brand created to inspire consumers like yourselves to really value handcraftsmanship within your consumption. So while you're out moseying along, traveling the world, and you're purchasing things, or if you're just online and shopping, understanding that you have an opportunity and an option to connect with artisans who are using their hands daily to do something that we really, really love and we're really passionate about, and we can make you some dope stuff. So without further ado, we're going to start off by just doing a yarn ball. This yarn ball is going to be important to me today because there is just a lot going on in California right now. I mean, as if it wasn't enough that we're having dry lightning storms, like with no rain. It's so crazy, right? And causing all of these fires because it's dry without the water. We're smoke inhalation. Our air quality is so bad. Just when we look at the index of air quality, 150 is potentially deadly. And we're in a space where we're at 183, 200, and it's really bad. So thankful for the good weather. Unfortunately, is bad weather given the quality of the air. Then we're in a pandemic. Then we had an earthquake the other day. Crazy. So I need to roll this yarn ball. What's up, Crystal? It's some crazy stuff going on, girl. I'm thankful for being able to come on live and talk to y'all and, make some positive energy out of it and have some good vibes. So I'm going to do this really, really quick just to, again, get my energies. I got my fan blowing, I know, so crazy. And we're not even through the summer yet. Jeez. Everyone's talking about canceled 2020. 2020 is running the show, okay? That's all I know. Just when we think we have some kind of sense of normalcy, or we're getting a new, modification of what our cycle is going to look like, our daily schedule, and boom, something new happens. Crystal says, I love that you're able to smile through it. Yes, because if we don't smile, we're going to be going crazy, girl. And we can watch the news and see crazy. I don't want to be on the news, not for nothing negative. Put me on there because I'm smiling, okay? But yes, thankful that we have power. Because that could be a thing. No power, that means no fan, no AC. I just want to thank God for everything today, okay? 2020 has a foot on our neck, exactly, suffocating us. That's all right, girl. We're going to make it through. We're going to be all right. Just got to be focused. You got to know what's going on, right? So, yeah. What else do I have to talk? I have so many things to talk about. Obviously, if you guys have watched my page, I've been going through like all of my photos. I take a million photos, anything and everywhere I go. I've been collecting for 20 years. I got 20 years of just photos of crocheting. I've been actively searching for, it's just unfortunate. We weren't living in those times where, social media was a thing. So, most of it is like on camcorders or like, on actual cameras, and I got Polaroids. But I'm just going to go through all of my footage and just keep on posting. I have some, some good things I forgot about, which is hence the power of journaling, journaling through photos, journaling through words, journaling through spoken word, whatever it may be. It's just really powerful to be able to be in a space where you get to relive a moment. And, that's very, very important skill set to have, because and especially in times like this where just not quite sure what's going to happen in the next moment. So I'm going to show you guys some of the hats or some of the beanies that have been created. I'm super hyped because I'm going to be working on some of the squares that I received. Shout outs to all the crocheters. I'm not going to name all of you guys because I'm sure I'm going to miss some, but the most recent package that I received came from Cosmic Crochet Creations and Bow Creations. I got some from Priscilla. See, that's why I didn't want to start talking. I need to do them live and then I'll remember. And did you all get to watch my unboxing yesterday? This is this new thing. Normally I have these private moments of unboxing this really dope stuff. And so I was like, you know what? Why not? There's no one here to watch anyway. So let me just go live so people can be a part of these moments. And I got some really dope things yesterday from Lovey Guehi. This is a pair of earrings that I unboxed last week from Bow Creations. Hey, Kim girl. I got some face products, some hair product. You just watch. It's time. These unboxings are going to be dope. And, for the most part, so far, there are fellow creative entrepreneurs who are out doing some really dope stuff. So, it's a pleasure for me to support and, spread the message on you know, supporting small business, Black owned, women owned, you know. I'm almost done with this yarn bowl. You know, also today's heat really just, you know, reminds me of where Believe in What You Dream, the next activation would have been in Ghana. And then followed up by South Africa. So, I mean, both of which, even just a concept of thinking about Africa, you're like, close to the equator, it must be hot. And then today it's just like, yep. And it reminds me of the last year when we were in Tanzania, we were in the Serengeti and, you know, teaching in the Maasai communities. And I just think about these videos, but the amount of heat, I think that I was just so engaged with being present and teaching and just hyped to, you know, just share this creative power of yarn that I really didn't pay attention. But when I'm looking at some of the videos or the photos, I mean, my whole back was wet, just sweat, you know, all over, you know, and it's hard enough that, you know, just even just rolling this yarn ball or even just working your arms, being creative, you know, you you penetrate some kind of like friction, which causes you to sweat anyway. And so if it's already hot, Lord have mercy. But we made it through. And I'm looking forward to going back. And there's a few folks who have, you know, made some kind of indication and notification that they're interested in traveling the next time it happens. So that means we get to work with more girls. Last year and the year before, my focus was really just working on sets of 30 girls because I know for me, I can work with a group of 30 and minimally get down the basic lessons of crochet within 2 hours, along with making the dream catchers and doing a bit of journaling, just, you know, quick stuff that we just write down, like, you know, kind of the question of what do you want to be when you get older? You know, kind of like, what do you think is going to take you to get there? And then we kind of go through some other prompted things, and it's pretty quick. It doesn't take any more than like a half an hour. Now we get into the crochet lesson and we start off by just making yarn balls, and we get into the first 3 stitches. And by then, you know, you have a good understanding out of the group who's going to pick it up right away and who's going to need some, you know, active reminders or, you know, more activities just to get the hand-eye coordination down packed, and even just holding your hands properly, because that's something that kind of takes time. Even still to this day, when I'm looking at other crocheters and looking at how they hold their hands, we all kind of hold our hands differently. So, you know, I think that's just a style thing. But that gives us a great opportunity to segue into what we're here for, which is putting together these granny squares so we can make a beanie. And just in case you guys are tuning in for the first time, I'm going to show you what the beanies look like. Here, I'll show you the one from last week. Show you what the beanies look like. So these are granny square beanies. And it takes 8 granny squares to make 1 beanie. And during the Sundays, sip and stitches, at least until I'm done with these 100 beanies, I'm going to be putting together these granny square beanies live. And the goal is to get to 100, okay? I don't even know what number I'm on now because there have been quite a few people who have ordered them, and I've gotten to a point where I'm just making them and sending them out. But I know I promised last week, but I'm going to come up with a number, the actual number, and get that to you guys so you guys can hold me accountable. Okay, so I'm going to put 4 together on IG, and then I'm going to pop off IG and go into Facebook Live. But all of it is still live on YouTube right now. So if you're interested in still watching and even crocheting along, if you want to, please join me on YouTube on the Yarn Movement channel. So we're just going to start off by doing some single stitches to pull these together. And these came from Cosmic Crochet. Hey, girl. And I like to put them together by doing just a single crochet across the top. If you have another way that you like to do yours, that is great. It just shows that there's multiple ways to get this job done. Most importantly, as long as it's secure, I think that's the most important part for all of us, correct? I just realized this gray is not the exact gray. But, it's a shade of gray. So I just wanted just to talk a little bit about these granny squares, um, and why they have such a symbolic meaning for me and my journey as a crocheter. Many of you may hear over and over again, I talk about my grandmother and her friend, Miss Cora May. This is Miss Cora May, by the way. So Miss Cora May is the first person who taught me to crochet. Um, and that's her actually at her house and just in her element. And we want to say rest in paradise to Miss Cora May because she has passed away for quite a few years now. But nonetheless, her memories and her conversations and all of the time that we spent together still resonates to this day. From picking up a certain color or shade of yarn to working on a certain pattern, I can just hear her just echoing in my mind of like, just saying, go girl, that's good. Yeah, you in the groove. That's the lick right there. All of the little things that she used to just say. And so for me, that's symbolic of the journey of understanding like how important it is to have a creative community while you're crafting and even building out your business, because that way that becomes your support team. And as things grow and increase, you have a nice council of people that you can go back to and work with, talk to, support. And it's important. So we have our first two squares together. We're going to put another two together, then we're going to put the 4 together. But yeah, so Cora May and my grandmother, I'm not really quite sure like how and when they originally met, but I just know that they became like immediate besties after it happened. I do know that they were part of a group of women who were widowers. They were all like, you know, wives of husbands who, passed away somehow in battle or in war. Now, I'm not quite sure too of the understanding of like if all of them, it was a requirement that you had a husband who passed away in war, or if you just were a military family and that was your support, or if it just happened to be by happenstance that, you know, over the course of time that their husbands or their spouses end up, passing away. But either way, I spent time with this group and each of them had some kind of skill set that they would just really activity skill set they'll bring to their activity circles while they're meeting up. And granny squares just remind me of that because you have an opportunity to select different colors. um, Everything kind of works collectively together, and when you put it all the way together it just looks good, and it reminds you of the nostalgia of having that love of another generation or your grandmother or whatever it may be. And so when I think about that, I think about how good it felt to stay the night at my grandmother's house when I was younger and get palled over with 1,000 blankets. I mean, I swear, I don't know what they were putting in blankets during that time, but it was just, the heaviest thing that you can do. It's just like you don't move. Once these blankets get on top of you, it's just like stay in one place. But it made you feel safe, secure, all in one place. And that is the goal for, those who are purchasing these beanies to remember for those who are that we're helping, let them know that there's people in the world that are thinking about them, and care that they survive, care that they have a promising future. So I have two sets. I'm going to put these two sets together. And I'm going to be sure to keep the seams, like there's just like this little seam on the outside, on both outsides, because, if you guys are watching last time or the time before that, I had to take apart my work because I wasn't paying attention and talking too much. So let's see, let's put this together. It's going to be a single crochet across the top seam. So if you all are watching and you're interested in making a contribution to the nonprofit to help young girls in the world, it's not just about crocheting. Crocheting is just a nice tool to, have a daily reminder of your dopeness, or a daily reminder of your like superpower that you have. But really, honestly, in these areas, as great as it feels to walk in and teach and bring all this colorful yarn and like teach this like incredible skill set that I love myself, it's more important to be able to really impact the lives of each girl daily. And there's daily things that are happening, those social disparities just that comes from being in underdeveloped communities, or those communities that, are struck by poverty in some instances, or just, not developed at all, and, are living on the traditions of whatever that society may be. That I think that it's really cool that we have an opportunity together to really make an impact on girls, in the instance of giving them personal hygiene products, and, those who are age appropriate sanitary napkins, because just quite honestly, it's a luxury that in most cultures is not important, especially if you're sitting down and you have an opportunity, you have this option to make, where, I should say a decision to make, where are you going to buy chicken, bread, and milk for your family, or are you going to buy sanitary napkins at the same cost? You're going to feed your family, right? And so for us, if we have an opportunity to really just help address that one thing, that puts a girl, in a space where she doesn't have to, you know, question her own quality of life based on making a decision that she really should even have to make a, decision about left or right. It should just be yes. So we have the opportunity to do that. Then also with this, the solar lamps just, are a very easy way to address a power issue. You don't have to worry about, you know, digging holes to create power lines, and, worry about paying the cost of having the service. You just have these solar lamps, you put them out in the sun during the day, and at night, flip a switch and turn it on. And like, voila, it's just like you just solve the problem that's been going on for centuries, just like in 1 second. So here we are with today's one side. This is side A of our beanie, and I'm going to do side B on Facebook Live. But I'm currently, for everyone who's watching, who's interested in just watching along, the other side, I'm on YouTube Live. So if you want to come on YouTube and say hi and share smiles and comments, come there. But either way, I'll be sure to come back on and post the final products so you can see this beautiful beanie. Shout outs to Cosmic Crochet Creations for sending these through. You and your girls did an incredible job. And so before I tune out here, if you're interested in making a contribution to the nonprofit Believe in What You Dream for a taxable deduction, please visit donate.yarnmovement.com. Again, that's donate.yarnmovement.com. If you're a crocheter watching and you're inspired to send over granny squares for a granny square beanie to be sold for towards going towards the dream catcher, towards the dream girl kicks, you can reach out to me and we can talk about it. But until later, when this is done, I'll see you all soon. Okay, it's S.Ladybug signing out. Okay, 2 seconds, guys. There we go. Take a quick sip. Whew. Boy, did I need that. It's so hot. I should have some intermission music while I'm switching over. So again, these are our squares for today. I'm gonna work on the other side here shortly, as soon as my phone acts right. There we go. Well, it doesn't want to act right, so that won't be happening today. Let's get to putting these other sides together. So we're going to go from 1 to 2, and then from 1 to 2 again. And then we're going to go from 2 sets to 4 to make this, and then we're going to put it together. So I'm just putting the 2 sides together. Going to join them with a single crochet stitch. Crochet stitch. Actually, start with this. This is one of those days that reminds me of like where's Spike Lee with the ice? You know, come on, Mookie, bring that ice. It's that hot. But it's all good because my cocktail has coconut water in it, along with, some adult spirit to make it all make sense. Okay. So I'm just putting together these 2 sides, or two brainy squares, I should say, at a common seam. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and weave back each piece so I can make it a little easier process when it's time to finish this out. So I don't have to go back and try to cut those. Okay. So we have these two together, and now we're just going to put the other two. Okay. So it's really super helpful and convenient for these lives because, you know, I know people don't want to be on all day waiting for me to make the squares and then go in and put them together and do all that part. And so it's just easier to have the squares already pre-made or preset, understand what the color is going to be, grab it, put them together so you all can see a finished product today. Make sure I tie these off. You definitely don't want to have any moments of your work coming apart. Okay, so that's done. And I just want to do a small little knot. Yeah, we have our two pieces. And I'm going to put these together. Remember, our goal is to have four together. I'm going to make this into four. Being sure to keep the seams facing out on the two sides. So, and do a single crochet stitch across the top to make a seam there. Okay. Boom. It's nice and tucked. Let's get rid of some of these strings. Okay. So now we have two sides. Wait till you see what happens next. This is S. Ladybug. So again, every Sunday I'm coming on to do a sip and stitch live. I'm making these beautiful granny square beanies. Kind of see a beanie when it's all done. To support the nonprofit arm of Yarn Movement, which is called Believe in What You Dream. And if you are a believer and you have an interest and compassion for inspiring and empowering young girls to find their superpowers so they can be fearless leaders of the future, please visit donate.yarnmovement.com and support, make a contribution. If you're interested in one of these beanies, you can click the link in the bio, which will take you to a site that you can just order beanies. You can pick the colors you want. You can pick one of these colors that we have here. And, let me know. All right, this is SL Ladybug signing out. Da, 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 da. Mm. Okay, so now we have our two sides, and we want to take the seams, right? And we're going to make sure this seam is on this side, and we're going to make sure the seams are on that side, because we actually want them to be on the same side, because once we tuck the beanie inside of it, then they get to be on the inside together. So I am just going to go and do the next step, which is putting these two sides together. So we're going to go from 4 to 8. So if you all are just tuning in, this is today's beanie. Let's see. See these beautiful colors? And I'm almost done with this. Let's see. So all I'm doing now is pulling the whole beanie together so you get to see the magic live. There we go. So voila, we have 8 together. So cute. And I'm just going to close up the other side. Okay. And we're almost to the corner. There we go. Let me tell you something about this yarn needle. It is such an amazing tool to have. Helps you just easily weave back all of those ends with a breeze. Boom. So now that we have that done, you're going to have this opening here, right? Okay, cool. We have this opening. And so what we're going to do is just close up the top. So we're going to do something like a drawstring. So we just need enough yarn that's going to go around the hat once. And remember that little trusty little yarn needle I was just telling you all about? Gonna pull that, put it to work. You want to kind of keep just a little tail of yarn at the end here, because you're gonna go back to it, and then you're just gonna go every other one, kind of weave into each stitch. Mm-hmm. And boom. So we have the 2 tails now here, right? And so what you're gonna do is just pull it together like a little drawstring. See? And it closes right up. Should have no space in there. And you just want to tie it off. A knot, well, a knot or two will suffice. I actually like to go in and reinforce the knot too by making like a little X at the top. There we go. So this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to put like a little X by just crossing the yarn across from each other. See, so now it's on two different sides. I can just make a X marks the spot type of deal. And again, you don't have to, but I just like it. Like to know that there's like a little bit more reinforcement up there. Okay. And pull it from the outside in. And you have your beanie. But I'm going to put 2 rows at the bottom just to have a little space down here to stretch it out, because this one will be a small size. So this is a small. This will kind of be like, I guess this will be like a large. Medium will be just a little smaller than this, but yep. So to do the border, this is kind of different from most people do it, I guess, too. I don't actually tie a knot. I just pull a loop through. So I make a little loop like this and pull it through and lock it in with a slip stitch and just go around the perimeter. And I'm just going to choose to do like a single crochet around here too. Actually, let's do half double. That isn't quite right. Almost dropped a stitch, y'all. Almost done. There we go. Mm-mm. There we go. And tucked. Let's do one more knot. And boom. Today's slip and stitch is now complete because we have a beanie complete with nice little border there. This is a half double crochet at the bottom. Super cute. Hey, Tasha. So yes. So again, this is S.Ladybug checking in for this Sunday sip and stitch. Let's have one more cheers before we go out. Cheers to all of you all on this hot summer day. S.Ladybug just signing out. Remember, these sip and stitches are dedicated to creating these Granny Square beanies as a way to raise funds for our nonprofit, Believe in What You Dream. The cost of one beanie is enough to support 2 girls. So we receive Dream Girl kits. Inside the Dream Girl kits, they'll have all the supplies for the workshop itself, which right now we have to do virtually. However, we do get an opportunity to send things over. And within those things that are being sent within the Dream Girl kits will include personal hygiene products. So that's soaps and lotions. And for those who are age appropriate, they will get sanitary products along with a solar lamp. Solar lamps, I can't even tell you or even emphasize how important the solar lamp is, because again, these are areas where power is a luxury that most don't have, and not only do they not have, it's not even present. And so having an opportunity to have a solar lamp immediately puts them in a position where their lives are being lit up, while we take an opportunity to enlighten it with the skill set of crochet and journaling and creating the dream catcher. And if you have a heart and for empowering young girls and want to be a part of that journey, please visit donate.yarnmovement.com and make a contribution there. If you would like to purchase one of these beanies, just click the link in the bio of this video, whatever way you're watching it, on whatever channel I should say, and make a purchase. And I guess I'll see you all next Sunday for the sip and stitch from 4 p.m. to whatever time I finish. All right. I think we're going to check out and check back into Facebook and create just one more beanie for today because I actually got done in an hour. So I will see you all next Sunday. S. Ladybug signing out.